Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Forgotten Coast Fishing. My name's David, and I fish inshore and offshore, showing you what I do to find and catch fish. If that appeals to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That goes a long way to help me to continue to create these videos. So we're offshore in the Grady today. We're in about 80 feet of water. And if you follow my videos, you know when I'm out fishing by myself, I like to get a couple things out. So I've got a free line out there, which is basically just a hook and a leader without a sinker. And I've got a cigar minnow just kind of floating out there. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to throw out this 100-gram jig and see if we can't pull up a grouper. Get off my fish. No, 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 no. No. Stop it. All right, no luck with that jig. And on top of that, I've got a seagull trying to grab my cigar minnow on that free line. So I've pulled that in. I'm getting a lot of smaller strikes on that jig. So I'm gonna throw down a chicken rig with smaller 3/0 circle hooks, and just to see if we can see what we're dealing with down there. And if not, we may move to another reef. And I'm just gonna bait it up with small pieces of squid. All right, we got something here finally. Now we got a dolphin showing up. It could grab this fish. Got a seagull trying to grab my free line out there. And I got everything stacked against me. Oh, we got a little tomtate. Well, he might be good for our grouper. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him in the live well, and we'll stick him out a little bit later. Oh, here he is. Man, I don't think this is a tomtate. It's got a little bit of weight to it. I just hope that dolphin doesn't get wise to what's going on. Yeah, this has got a good bit of weight to it. It's a triggerfish, a small one. He's not going to be a keeper. They're in season right now, but they need to be 15 and he's not going to make it. Oh man, here he is. Got him. Oh wow, this is a big one. All right. Oh man, and this dolphin just showed up too. Hopefully I can get him in before the dolphin grabs him. Man, this is oh, he got off. Jeez, I was probably working him too hard because of this dolphin. Man, that was a good one. Could have been our grouper right there. Jeez, what a bummer. Let's try that again. We got something here. Not a monster else. Maybe my jig is just twisted. Yeah, well, it took off. Okay. Little Spanish. That was unexpected. All right, little Spanish mackerel. He's about 13, a little over 13. That treble hook kind of got him pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw him in the box. Oh, here he is. Here he is. Oh, he's got a little more weight to him than the Spanish. Not as much as that bigger one we had that got off, but I just saw two dolphins heading over this way, so I'm a little worried about them. What do we got here? Man, it's a little bluefish. All right, well, this is not what we're really after. Now I'm about 11-12 miles offshore. Kind of feel like I'm fishing inshore. I got that small Spanish mackerel and now this bluefish. Let's get him back. All right, I wasn't getting anything but kind of smaller swipes at that jig, but I did have that one larger strike on that jig. So I've got this tomtate. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the bottom with a standard knocker rig. This is a 7/0 circle hook, and I'm just going to kind of go through the nostrils there. And this is a 6-ounce sinker. So this is a standard type knocker rig. See if we can't pull up this grouper this way. Or whatever that bigger fish was earlier. You know, there's a lot of tomtates here. I just would expect to be something bigger feeding on them. Well, not going to catch much fish today. At least we can clean up the oceans a little bit. This was just floating by. I was hoping there might be a triple tail on it, but I didn't see one. But let's go on to our next reef. All right, so I've moved to the 5th reef of today and got my live tomtate on the bottom and free line with my cigar minnow over here, and just threw out this chicken rig just to kind of see what's out here, maybe get a little action. I've got something with a little bit of weight here, and it looks like I got a triggerfish, but again, he's going to be too small. Oh man, all right, we got something a little bigger. A little bigger. This is just 3/0 circle hooks and 3-pound test chicken rig with the 4-ounce sinker. So it's not a very heavy duty rig, but you know, I'm thinking this is tomtates or triggerfish, and you need kind of smaller hooks for those kind of fish. And it's a triggerfish, maybe a keeper, maybe a 15-inch keeper. Let's check him out to see. Yeah, I think he might just make it. All right, well, he was a bigger one of the day, but not quite big enough. He was just 14 and something, so not quite big enough, so we need to go ahead and throw him back. Oh man. All right, here's a good one. Feels like a nice fish. Most likely a triggerfish. I've moved back in. This is, I think, reef number 6 today in our hunt for some kind of keeper. And I dropped down this chicken rig. Yeah, it's a, oh, 2 red snapper. Now, they're in season today, this weekend, but they've got to be 16, and these guys aren't going to make it. But hey, it's red snapper. Oh, got him again. Oh, another nice one. Hopefully it's a nice one and not decent too. Let's see what it is here. Oh, better red snapper. Okay. Well, I've got the flat line out, so hopefully that'll grab one of our bigger ones. We'll take a measurement of this one, but I don't think he's going to be 16. Okay, got him. Feels like another small red snapper. Let's get him up and see. Y'all, we may have a keeper here. This may be 16 inches. Let's get him off check to see. We finally got a keeper snapper. He's a little bit over 16, so we're going to go ahead and put him in the box. That'll be a good eating dinner tonight. All right, we got that one red snapper in the box. We get to keep 2 per person. So let's see if we can't close out the day with another keeper red snapper. Oh, here he is again. All right. I can't tell if he's big enough or not. The last one kind of didn't feel big enough. Kind of surprised me. This one, I don't think is going to be. Yeah, I know he's just a little bit too small, so let's get him back. Oh, oh, man. Oh, we got one over here, y'all. I wasn't paying attention. I was not paying attention. This is a king mackerel, I think. Oh man, y'all should have told me if y'all were watching the video. Say, hey man, you getting a fish? All right, let's tighten up our drag a little bit. I just threw my rod on the ground. Everything. Yeah, this is a king mackerel. Oh man, let's get him in. All right. All right. It's a nice king mackerel. All right, I'm gonna get him back in quickly because he's bleeding all over my boat, but that's a pretty nice king mackerel right there. I'm not gonna be keeping king mackerel, so let's go ahead and get him back. Oh man, here we go. All right, let's tighten up our drag a little bit. Now, this is going down. I'm hoping this is our big, oh man, this is going down real good, y'all. This could be our big snapper. Oh man. Yeah, man, I'm hoping this is our snapper. A lot of times these king mackerels will come to the surface. But I had hooked this cigar minnow a little different. I had run the hook through the eyes and then hooked it in the back. So it very well could be a king mackerel, but I'm just hoping it's a red snapper. But yeah, he's not coming to the surface. It is a red snapper, y'all. It's a nice red snapper. All right, let's get him in. Look at this red snapper, everybody. Check him out. All right, man, I was just looking at the depth finder because we had moved off this reef and I wasn't getting any bites on the chicken rig. And look what we get right here at the end of the day. I was just about to call it a day. All right, well, red snapper, you made our day. Wow. Well, let's get a measurement on him. Get him in the box. He's 23 and a half. Not my biggest one on this boat, but that's a nice red snapper to end this day. Well, let's get him in the box, get this boat cleaned up, and let's get on out of here. All right, everybody, welcome to our kitchen. We're going to go ahead and cook up this red snapper, that same red snapper that certainly made our day today. So what we're going to do tonight is a blackened red snapper, and it's probably one of the more simpler things I've done before, but since this is such fresh fish, you know, you really don't need a lot of ingredients and a lot of spices and a lot of things to hide that fresh fish flavor. So really, our two ingredients are really just going to be this blackened redfish magic, which is a Paul Prudhomme product, and then just some butter and our fish and this cast iron skillet. Now you could also use a Blackstone if you have one of those, or just a regular non-stick skillet would do the same thing. So first off, I'm just going to go ahead and I've got my cast iron skillet preheating on about a medium heat. Now typically when you do like redfish, blackened redfish, a lot of times that's done with a really hot iron skillet. But this is such thicker red snapper, I'm going to cook it a little bit lower just so we don't burn the fish and make sure that it's cooked on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some of this seasoning on first. And you just put as much or as little as you want. Like I said, this fish is fresh, was caught today. All it was cleaned and put in the refrigerator. And so it really doesn't need a whole lot of spices, but I think that'll do for us this evening. Then next I'm going to get probably about a half a stick of butter in here. All right, and then we're just going to lay our fish in. Now what I like to do, obviously this is the bottom side of the fish here. So what I like to do is put the serving side down. I always put that down first because that's typically going to get your most browning and just have a better presentation. Okay, and then we're just going to season the other side with our blackened spice. And then just watch this. It's probably going to take 3 to 4 to maybe 5 minutes, just depending on how hot you have your skillet. But I'm just going to stand here and kind of watch it. It's not going to take long. And just kind of peeking under it, and just to see when we get that brown color on the other side, we'll go ahead and flip it. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and flip these. I kind of looked under and we're getting a nice color. And you want to kind of especially watch the difference between these fillets. You know, you got a thicker one here and a thinner one over here. So you're going to kind of want to just kind of watch these a little bit and make sure that you're cooking them appropriately. That looks perfect right there. Excellent. So we'll give this about another 3 minutes or so and see if they're ready and pull them off. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes on that other side, and we're going to go ahead and take these off. I'm going to go ahead and grab this smaller piece first. Okay, and then the last step, once I've got the fish plated up, I'm going to take some of this butter that was left over and then just sort of drizzle that over these pieces just to give a little bit extra flavor. You've got this butter is browned a little bit. It's got some of the spices left in it. No reason to wash it down the drain. And here you go, black and red snapper. Cooked a little bit slower than you would traditionally do black and red fish, just because this fish is a little bit thicker. And let's go ahead and let this cool for a second, and we'll see how it tastes. You know, this is cooked exactly right. You know, we cooked it a little bit slower. I think we put the nice amount of spices on it, and it's nice and tender, flaky, still kind of juicy a little bit. But this is a wonderful recipe. I'm going to leave this down in the description below so you can make this for yourself. You know, today was one of those slower days, probably one of the more slower days I've had in quite some time. But we ended up going to 6 reefs. I kept trying things, kept trying different techniques, different lures, different presentations, and of course those different reefs. And we were finally able to get this red snapper and make this wonderful dinner for us tonight. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It certainly helps me to continue to create these videos. So until next time, I hope to see you at another episode of Forgotten Coast Fishing.